Hi, I'm Rob and this is Gems of War. I've done plenty of videos in the past showing how to use certain weapons and certain troops and even entire teams. But from now on, once a week, I'm going to show the opposite. I'm going to show you how to combat some of the most annoying and most irritating teams, troops and weapons in the game. And we're going to start off with Life and Death, that annoying turd burglar that just irritates the heck out of you in PvP. It's really irritating and I'll show why in case you're not familiar with it. What we got here is the weapon itself steals life from the last two enemies, so it's effectively true damage which it then adds to itself, giving itself a life buff, and even worse it then death marks those two enemies as well, which is really bad. But then it just blesses itself, which is even worse. When it's blessed, it's impervious to all negative status effects and gives it a hell of a lot of protection. And that's just in the basic level. It's normally in Orb Weaver class as well, which that third trait, a 35% chance to summon a giant spider when I take damage, is a nightmare. It's more like 70%. I have no idea, but it certainly seems to happen a lot more than just over a 1 in 3 chance. As well as that, you've got the champion talents. Haunted Weave, web a random enemy when I summon a troop is a pain. Root Trap is awkward at first, but not a big deal. Stealthy though, this thing can normally never be targeted, so you can't actually control it and aim at it and say I'm going to bash you because it's hiding like a little annoying little toe rag. Rising Shadows as well, 7% chance to assassinate the last enemy when another enemy dies. Happens far more often than you would think it would for 7%. And it gets worse. If the person who has this troop has it fully upgraded, it's going to enchant itself when it casts as well, which means it's going to be ready to do it all again in no time at all. And that's just Life and Death on its own, god damn it. Then we've got Arachnian Weaver, which is typically in this lineup. This is a very standard and typical Life and Death style lineup. Arachnian Weaver is an absolute beast of an enemy. Webs all enemies, reducing all your magic to 0, then deals a significant amount of true damage to the last two enemies. And if one of them dies, explodes 15 gems, charging up everyone, particularly Life and Death again, to just do it all over again. It's also a nightmare because it can't be targeted either. And it's also immune to all status effects, Devour, Lycanthropy and Mana Burn. And even if you kill someone, if this kills one of you back, which is bound to happen sometimes if you haven't got the correct team, then it's going to summon a Web Spinner as well, which is a really, really dangerous opponent too. So, Arachnian Weaver, an utter pain. Can it get any worse? Of course it can, because King Avalorn is going to be in this team. He gives all elf allies a 50% start with mana. King Avalorn himself is a elf, so he gets it. Arachnian Weaver gets it because that's an elf. We're in the Orb Weaver class, so Life and Death gets it. The only one that doesn't get it is Graveseer, because he gets 100%, god damn it, starts battles with full mana and he's going to transform green to purple to give the Life and Death to wreak hell on your team, and he enchants the strongest ally. My god, can a team in the game be any more annoying than this? I think not, but there is a way to beat it. In fact, there are a couple of ways, and I'm going to show you 4 teams specially designed to just destroy Life and Death teams, and 2 of them do it really quickly and require no mythic whatsoever. So stay tuned, hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, and remember to come back for more because I'm going to be concentrating at least once a week on showing you how to deal with the most commonly used evil weapons, troops and teams in the game. Alright, here's the first team. It's in Mechanist class and it is my least favourite out of the 4 teams because it just is slightly unreliable now and again, but it is still quite a lot of fun to use. And the only way it's unreliable is if Arachnian Weaver gets to cast first and put the web on this team, which will significantly reduce the damage that they do. But it is still fun to use, and if you get going quickly on this, the other team can be dead before it's even had a chance to get going. And the reason is we're in Mechanist class and using the Engineer's Drill, which gives all mech allies a 50% start with mana, which is really, really handy, and it explodes brown gems and gives a random status effect to all mech allies and has a summon as well, which is really handy should we lose somebody at the bottom of the team. Tina 9000 deals a decent amount of true damage to 3 random enemies, and it can hit the same enemy twice. So we've got a 50-50 chance basically of hitting one of the enemies we really want to take out, which is Arachnian Weaver or Life and Death, and it gains 80 armor as well. Very devastating troop that. But Shocktopus is kind of underused, and I think of it as a bit like a poor man's Grey King. It destroys 8 gems of a chosen colour, then deals true damage to each enemy of that colour. The gems are matched with full effect, so in this case, purple is the relevant colour. Life and Death and Arachnian Weaver both use purple, so they will both be affected by that, the true damage, and will pick up any purple which we destroy, which will go onto Leprechaun, giving him a cheap cast. Also, this affects the other team in a negative way as well, because Graveseer likes purple. It transforms green to purple, so if those purple are completely removed, that reduces the effectiveness of that spell in a massive, massive way. So that's the strategy behind this team. To show the banners of it quickly, which is the +2 green, +2 red, -1 purple Maze banner. I know Leprechaun uses purple, but it is nowhere near as important as getting that green and red for the Engineer's Drill and Tina. And we are in Mechanist class. And the talent tree for this will be Serendipity, Protector, Vanguard, Razor Armor, Saviour, Banishment, which is not to be underestimated. A really good thing that, like, even if the other team gets blessed on their Life and Death, Banishment actually takes that away. We do that just by getting a 4-match. And Armor Plating. So let's dive in and see what we can do. Even if we get webbed sometimes with Arachnian Weaver, it doesn't always matter, providing we get the cast on Tina first. So we do like to get some casting quickly if we can. We'll look around. That's a pretty bad start for us, to be fair. There's no green in the middle of the board at all, which is really unlucky, because when you explode gems, you only explode the gem and the one adjacent, immediately adjacent around it. So for that reason, I'll grab the blue for the Engineer's Drill. They're going to get a cast in a second. They generally will get to have a cast, so it's not always avoidable unless you get really lucky on a 4-match, which I did there. So now I would cast Tina, because if it chooses to hit Life and Death twice, you can actually get rid of that thing in one go. Hey, like that. Fantastic. That's what we want to see. Just let it be known that that doesn't always happen quite as superbly well as that. Now we'll cast the Engineer's Drill again. No, we won't, because we're webbed and we're only going to destroy one brown gem. That is clearly not enough. But we have got our Shocktopus charged up. So what we can do with this is let them get a bit of... No, we won't. We'll do it straight away. Let's do it straight away. I was going to let the Graveseer get charged up a bit. There's no point. We'll hit them with that straight away. They've taken true damage. We've got an extra turn out of that as well. And now we can get going on mana generation again, this time for our Shocktopus. Take a look around for any 4-matches. Shocktopus is going to deal more damage to... See, you can change it now. You can do yellow, green or purple. So now we're better off taking probably green, because that's going to hit Avalon at the same time. And we've got a lucky skull match. And Shocktopus was the star of this show, and Tina finishes off. And that was while being webbed as well for a little while, so that's relatively easy. We did get lucky on the Life and Death kill, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you might do that on the Arachnian Weaver. It's all good. If you kill one or the other, it sets the other one up for a easy kill. So there's the first team. This second team is really, really easy to use. Requires a no mythic. Isn't exactly an exact counter. It's just very good at finishing teams off in a hurry. We've got Forest Troll in first place. Doubles the number of green on the board. Then creates 3 green gems. And entangles the first enemy when doing skull damage, which is pretty nifty. Arboreal Crystal explodes green gems affected by your magic level. Then grants a random status effect to all elemental allies. And has a summon at the same time. We're in Titan class. All giant allies start with 50% mana, so that includes the troll at the start, which is really nifty. And the champion talents are going to be Impact, Counter Attack, Stone Circle, Storm Aura, Rock Solid, Lightning Strike, and Fortitude. And King Gobtruffle, I'm sure everyone knows what he does by now, deals damage to all enemies, which is a really handy way of dealing with Life and Death, because when you're stealthy, normally you can dodge individual damage, you can't target anybody. But when you deal damage to all enemies, stealthy or not, you're going to get hit, and that is the end. And hopefully we'll generate enough green and brown to generate an extra turn and repeat the process. The brown feeds Forest Troll and the green feeds himself. Banners wise is +2 blue, +1 green, -1 red. So let's dive in. Any sort of nice start on brown or green is nice with this team. We can now cast our Arboreal Crystal. That's charged up the Gobtruffle. We'll let them do that. We'll let them get away with that just once. Now you can cast the Forest Troll. There's tons of green there. This is pretty much guaranteed to work. And now we cast each Gobtruffle back to back while making sure you collect 4 matches, if you can, for basically the Forest Troll to get charged up again, because if there's enough green there you wouldn't cast Gobtruffle automatically. But now, even though Gobtruffle's there, you can cast them. But say only one was charged, now you would definitely cast this again to make sure you charge up the other one, so you've got 2 chances of getting the extra turn. And because you've got 2 of them, you're effectively getting an extra turn. And now they are dead, and it is absolutely as straightforward as that. Another really easy team to use. This third team is all about the bees. It's the bees' knees. This time you don't fight fire with fire, you fight fire with honey. And Queen Beatrix ×2 is ideal for this. She does true damage, has a cleanse via that 3rd trait. She has a chance of an extra turn, she creates green and brown. And this makes Life and Death, bizarrely, an ideal counter to Life and Death, because Queen Beatrix creates brown, which will charge up Life and Death, who does true damage himself. So that's really good. So we'll use that, and we'll use Leprechaun for a fast start in this team. We'll cast that straight away and just get it on and see how quickly we can do this. This can be really quick sometimes, depending upon your luck. And we're in Archer class. We start battles with 50% mana, really nice start, and a 15% chance for skull damage to be lethal is superb. The champion talents are Hunt, Precision, Root Trap, Backup, Gale Force, Dodge, and Thieves Guild. On the banners, I have gone for Ocularian banner. That can't be right. No, I think I've changed the team since then, or done something. That's a bit weird. What's going on? Oh, hang on. Hold your horses, everyone. What do we want? Let's go green. No, actually, hang on. That was not the right way to go about that. What don't we use? We don't use yellow, and we don't use red, but we like green. So, really? No, see, that's why I don't use that thing. This shortcut thing of using this, I don't tend to use that. I just tend to think in my head, alright, I don't use red, I don't use yellow, so I'll look for them along the bottom. I think, right, that's pretty nifty. But that's even better. No, it's not, because of the mine's brown. Look for red or yellow along the bottom first. Not too worried about getting Life and Death charged up. That shouldn't be too difficult to get charged up at all. It's Queen Bee I want to get charged up the most, and for that reason, that is ideal. Alright, let's dive in. Alright, let's cast the Leprechaun. Get some fast start going on. Queen Bee's ready to go already, which is awesome. I'm going to cast her first, because I want to mess up this stuff here for the conversion there. Transform green to purple. It's just going to mess up the board, as well as give us a chance of an extra turn. We've got 2 bees charged up now. We've got an extra turn. And this is almost feeling like cheating, to be honest. And that is how easy that team can defeat Life and Death. Fight them with honey. Splat them in the face with honey. It gets them in a sticky mess, and there's nothing they can do about it. Alright, that was a nice, quick, easy one. Now for the last team, this is more for a specific situation than anything else. Sometimes you'll find that they've put Life and Death and Arachnian Weaver in the last 2 positions rather than Life and Death in 2nd slot. This does happen quite a lot with people putting King Avalon at the front, as he is more expendable. He's only really there for that 50% start. So basically the idea of this is they don't care if King Avalon dies. It's kind of handy. If they get to kill one of us, then with Arachnian Weaver's 3rd trait, they get to get a web spinner there probably, which is far better than King Avalon. So you may get this. So the perfect way to counter this double thing with basically Life and Death and with them being in last slots is to choose a team very similar to theirs basically. Life and Death targets the last 2 enemies, as we well know, and so does Arachnian Weaver. King Avalon gives them a fast start, and Leprechaun gives us an even faster start. So I don't think there's any need to actually explain anymore how this team's going to work. It's going to be obvious, but I'll just show the Orb-Weaver traits first, because I've gone for the Orb-Weaver ones myself. They're identical to the ones on the other side. So let's just dive in and take them out. Going to get the obvious nice 4 matches. We can cast Leprechaun straight away. Now when you get both of them charged up at the same time, that both of them being Life and Death and a Reckoning Weaver, you want to cast Life and Death first, because if the maths works out on your game that you're going to kill them when you cast both, and you want to cast a Reckoning Weaver second, because when you kill someone you're going to explode 15 gems, which is going to create a ton of mana for the team. So what we got, the lowest one out of them, the bottom 2 is on 93. I've got 42 and 52, so that is enough. So if I cast Life and Death first, and then Reckoning Weaver, that is enough, and I've already taken out their Weaver already, and I've got Life and Death charged again. Life and Death is already history, and it's just mopping up the remains of their team. And I don't really care that we've got the death mark on the bottom 2. By fluke, they've shaken it off anyway, and the Reckoning Weaver is charged, and yeah, that is ludicrously easy to counter that team with a very similar team itself. So there's a video. There's 4 teams to how to beat Life and Death with ease. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Many more videos in the future, but most of all, thanks for watching. See you again next time. Bye for now.